What's going on YouTube? Uberman here. Hopefully this will be the last video I produce today because I've spent the entire day wrenching on cars and editing videos, and honestly it's like 6 o'clock in the evening and I am exhausted. But regardless, you don't care about that. So we've been having some issues with the Chevy Sonic, the 2015 Sonic that I got from Copart. The passenger airbag light stays on. We found a fault in the airbag system. We got a code from OnStar that told me that it was the passenger presence module. And what this module does is it measures weight in the passenger seat. When a certain amount of weight is placed onto the seat, it automatically engages the pre-tensioner and the airbags for the passenger side. With this module being defective, it was incapable of knowing when someone was or was not sitting in the seat, so by default it assumed there was nobody there. In the event of an accident, this could be a huge problem because none of the passenger airbags would go off, and the pre-tensioner on the passenger side would not work either, which could allow you to fly forward and potentially hit your head on something or into the windshield. It could be a real danger. So this is a very serious issue. And I had some people give me some ideas for something called like Airbag 360 or something, a little thing you plug in and it just leaves the airbag on all the time. That's also dangerous. If you've got somebody like a child in the front seat that normally the car would not activate the airbag to protect them, now they're going to get hit with an airbag that could be deadly for a child. So, you know, the only way to do this is to do it right. You never, ever, in my opinion, half-ass or screw with, tamper with the airbag system unless you know what you're doing. Luckily, I do. I've been working with airbags for a very long time, since airbags were invented. Okay, maybe not since they were invented, but for a long time. So what I decided to do is, instead of spending $300 for this module from General Motors, which is on back order, and then having to tear the seat apart and replace it, and then you have to calibrate it, which I do not have the tools to calibrate, it was much easier to find it and just replace it. So in this video, that's what we're going to do. We're going to tear out the old seat, we're going to replace it with a new one, and we're going to see if we resolve this airbag light that has been frustrating me for the longest time. So let's get to it. All right, so now it's time for the moment of truth. We are going to fire this thing up and see what happens. I'm in the passenger seat. Now the airbag light is somewhere down here, if I remember right. And that light has just been stuck on since I bought the car. I do have, just in case, we need to clear some codes. I've got my trusty blue driver module right here, if it becomes necessary. But I'm hoping it clears itself. So let's see what happens. Yes. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. All right, the airbag light is off. That means I can comfortably sell this car and put it on Turo to rent out, not to mention drive passengers around. I would not have done that without having this airbag system fixed. Just too risky in my opinion. So there you go. Airbag light is off. No check lights are on. On the passenger side, it now shows that since I'm sitting in the seat, that the passenger airbag is on, and it's instructing me to buckle my seatbelt. I'm going to try that real quick just to make sure the seatbelt light turns off. And it is. Ladies and gentlemen, issue resolved. Case closed. All right, I want to show you something real quick. Now, I got a great deal on the seat that I just installed in this car. I got it from LKQ, as you can see right here. LKQ. I got it for $93. The only sucky part was they told me they had it in Tulsa. I drove to Tulsa, they didn't have it, so that kind of sucked. They had to ship it to me in Oklahoma. But the seat that I installed in the car actually only cost me $113. But this piece right here, this is called a pre-tensioner. This is actually part of the airbag safety system. It's all incorporated. So this looks just like the connector on your airbag module, and it plugs on just like this. Very simple, just like on the airbags, and then this pin gets pushed down. You got this bolt right here, and the pre-tensioner actually fits right here once it's all bolted up. And then you've got this cover. It won't move once it's installed properly. And this cover covers the whole thing up, makes it look nice and pretty. But what I noticed when I got this seat was that this piece right here was wrinkled and pulled way down. Whereas on my old seat, this piece right here with the seatbelt buckle was way up. So I knew immediately that this had locked up on me and it was gonna have to be replaced. Luckily, I had a good pre-tensioner in my other seat. But down here's a steel cable. This is a braided line, and in the event of an accident, when the airbags deploy, this is basically like a gunshot. Boom, it fires, and when it fires, it pulls the steel line down, wraps it down, and pulls this seat belt. That's why it's called a pre-tensioner. It helps tighten the seat belt in the event of an accident to protect you. And this has to be replaced. This module's no good. So like I said, thankfully I had one in the other seat, the old seat, and I simply pulled it out. They come off pretty easy. Just pull this pin up and then pop it off just like that. All there is to it. Now we've got the old seat we can get rid of, the old pre-tensioner, and the Sonic's ready to go. All right, so how about that? The Chevy Sonic is finally complete. At least as far as I'm concerned, it's complete. There are some dings in the body. There is a little cut in the front bumper there. There's nothing major. The interior is absolutely beautiful. It's very clean. It smells good. The airbag system is working again. The seat belt is working again, where it knows when someone's sitting in the passenger seat, knows when they're buckled, when they're not. You know, I could not, in good conscience, sell that car or rent it out or anything knowing there was an issue with anything in the airbag system. So now that that's all resolved, it is listed on Turo. My Cruise has been rented out. I mean, my Cruise is rented out every day. It's never here anymore. Hopefully the Sonic can get the same attention. So while I'm waiting to sell it, I've dropped the price to $69.95, and I think that's where I'm going to hold firm. That car is worth $7,000, and if I can't get it, then I'll just rent it out on Turo, and we'll see what happens there. Turn that car into kind of like a passive income. just like the Cruise is. So I'm happy with the Sonic. It runs great, drives great, gets good gas mileage. I've got no issues with that car anymore. And I've got the Jeep, so, you know, if I need to get around or something while the Sonic is rented out, then I can ride around in the Jeep for a while, and, you know, hopefully we'll get the Sonic sold in the near future. But as with any car that's priced, you know, $7,000 or so, this could take a minute to sell. And I knew that when I bought it, and I'm perfectly fine with that. So until then, we'll just keep wrenching, we'll keep doing what we do, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to like the video, please. Also, if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. As always, stay safe out there. See you next time.